Okay, so let's get right into it. In music, sometimes an artist's rise is slow and steady, and other times it's just a straight up explosion. That's exactly what we're talking about today, the incredible story of the P-pop group BINI and how they pretty much took over the world in 2024. And yeah, this quote from Sunstar, it just hits the nail on the head, right? They solidified their title as the nation's girl group. We're not just talking about a band that got popular. We're talking about a group that completely changed the game for Filipino music, for OPM, in just 1 year. They went from being a group to a full-blown phenomenon. So that brings us to the big question, right? I mean, how does a P-pop group get so big that they become one of the biggest musical acts in the Philippines to the point where they're actually surpassing global superstars on the charts? We're talking about huge household names here. How on earth did that happen? Well, to really get it, to understand this massive success, we've got to go back, way back to the beginning, because a meteoric rise like this doesn't just come out of nowhere. It's built on a solid foundation. And that's the thing. This was not an overnight success story. Not at all. They got their start way back in 2019 through the super grueling audition process at ABS-CBN's Star Hunt Academy. From there, it was years of pure grind. Training, putting out a pre-debut single, releasing 2 full albums, just slowly, methodically building their fan base. I mean, look at this contrast. It's just wild. You've got them in the early days, literally on the street, handing out flyers to get people to listen to their music. And then you flash forward to their peak in 2024, and they're selling out arenas in minutes. Minutes! That jump from handing out flyers to becoming the nation's girl group, that's the journey. That's what makes this story so insane. And then it happened. The moment every artist dreams of, right? After all those years of hard work, one song comes along and just changes everything. For BINI, that song was Pantropiko. It dropped in late 2023, and it was just perfect timing. It had this bright, sunny vibe that everyone was craving. And then came the TikTok dance craze. You couldn't escape it. It wasn't just a hit song. It became the undisputed summer anthem for the Philippines. It was a whole cultural moment. And that one song, that one dance, catapulted them from a known local group to a global viral sensation. Hitting 100 million streams on Spotify by July? Just unbelievable. So Pantropiko was the spark. And once that fire was lit, 2024 just became this blur of record-breaking achievements. One after another, they just kept smashing expectations. Okay, let this sink in for a second. In June 2024, BINI did something that had never been done before. They became the first ever Filipino artists to reach #1 on Spotify Philippines' daily top artist chart. And to get to that top spot, they had to dethrone Taylor Swift. Yeah, Taylor Swift. And the momentum just didn't stop. It just kept snowballing. By March of 2025, they hit another massive milestone. They became the first P-pop group to cross 1 billion streams on Spotify. A billion! I mean, that number is just, it's hard to even wrap your head around. And if you looked at the charts, it was just pure domination. Pantropiko hit #1. Their other massive hit, Solomon, also hit #1. But here's the crazy part. At one point, they had 7 of their songs on the Billboard Philippines chart, all at the same time. We're talking new songs, old songs. It didn't matter. They weren't just on the chart. They were the chart. So when 2024 wrapped up, the report card came in, and wow. On Google, most searched female personality. On Spotify, top group and top local artist. Apple Music, #1 song of the year. YouTube, the #1 and #2 music videos of the year. It was a total, absolute, clean sweep. They owned every platform. Now, all this online hype, it translated into insane real-world demand. Their very first solo concert sold out in under 2 hours. So they added more shows, sold out. They moved to the bigger Araneta Coliseum, sold out 3 nights in a row. And then they did the unthinkable. They made history as the first Filipino act to sell out the Philippine Arena. That's a 55,000-seat venue. The demand was just off the charts. So, with that kind of success, you know it's not going to stay local for long. The rest of the world couldn't help but notice. And just like that, BINI became the face of P-pop for a global audience. And the international awards just started rolling in. They get the Voices of Asia Award from Billboard Korea in Seoul. Then they become the first Filipino act ever to win Best Asia Act at the MTV EMAs. The Grammy website features them as one of 12 rising girl groups you have to know. And to top it all off, they land on the Forbes Asia 30 Under 30 list. I mean, come on.
But all of this, all these awards and records, it was all building towards one thing, their biggest stage yet, a performance that would put P-pop and the Philippines directly in the global spotlight.
And we're talking about Coachella. Now, for anyone who isn't familiar, Coachella is not just another music festival. It's the festival. It's a cultural landmark. It's where global trends are born. Just getting an invite to perform there can change an artist's entire career. It's a huge, huge deal. So yeah, April 2026, BINI walks onto that stage and makes history. The first Filipino act ever to perform at Coachella. They played the Mojave stage for 2 weekends, and during their set, they trended #1 worldwide. And they did this amazing thing where each member introduced themselves in a different Filipino language, just proudly putting their culture and their heritage front and center for the whole world to see. You know, what's really cool is that their impact isn't just about the music or the streams. It's so much bigger than that. They've used their huge platform to stand up for things they believe in, championing female empowerment, supporting LGBTQIA+ rights. They've really become these incredible ambassadors for Filipino culture on the world stage. And this quote from Metro.style just sums it all up perfectly. It says, BINI helped pave the way for greater international recognition of P-pop. And that's so true. They didn't just find a door to global stardom and walk through it. They kicked that door off its hinges for everyone else coming after them. So when you look at the whole story, BINI is this perfect storm of talent, years of hard work, and just catching lightning in a bottle at the right time. They proved without a doubt that P-pop belongs on the global stage, which really just leaves us with one very exciting question to think about. BINI kicked the door wide open. So who's going to be the next one to walk through it?